Hello out there. We're on the air. Welcome back to another episode of The Kingdom. It is Wednesday, it is dark, it is fall time, and unfortunately, all of our predictions from last week were wrong. So I don't know why the business we have showing up tonight, but we're here. So we'd like to welcome everybody across this beautiful country of ours, East Coast to the West Coast, everybody in between. And just in case you're out there watching from somewhere else, we're glad to have you too. So, Drummy, get your voice ready. We'll be back in 30.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Jordan Headley. As we always do, we send it straight up north to our boy Reg. See what's going on up there. How you doing, buddy?
I got the brightest hat in Canada on right now. Like, this thing is glowing. You know, I went to grab a hoodie from my top shelf. I keep all my hoodies like on the shelves above the hangers because I don't have hanger space for them all. And I pulled this one down, and like 20 hats came tumbling down with it, and this one just kind of popped out. I forgot that I even had it, honestly. It was tucked into the back of my closet. I think I might have worn it once. White hats are tough to wear, I find. They don't go with a whole lot, and it's like you're kind of scared to wear it in a way, because like if you walk in the bush and look for a ball or anything, like then it gets scuffed up and then you're pretty well done. Yeah, that's the story about the white. That's the story about the white hat. So I'm going to turn it backwards because it's actually throwing me off. So not much is going on up here. Golf, obviously, I came in for the housewarming. Drums are a heck of a party. I can make out where you are now on the camera. I can visualize where things are at. Things were good. It was a fun party. Obviously, the three of us together with Dal, things got a little carried away. I was playing senior hockey in Minnedosa. Supposed to be at practice tonight, actually, for the first practice, according to my Saturday night plans, but that didn't go so well. So Sunday morning, I woke up and knew I said something I regretted the night before, and immediately told Dal that it was all fake. Texted Args, told him that it wasn't happening. I was actually texting Args for a spot to stay on the weekends for the winter, but yeah, that fell through. The sober me realized that's not going to happen. So it was fun actually for the night while it lasted, though. Lots of good memories just from the one night. But as far as golf, we played Wheat City. I was dying to play with somebody on Sunday, but all you guys left. It's all good, whatever. Gonna play on Friday with Mike P at Gilbert. Got the afternoon off, so I texted him. We've been trying to get a game in all summer, so we're gonna play then, and then the Ironman. But my question is, on Friday, I don't know that I can do it with Mike P. Like, I don't know if I can show up to golf around with Mike P and have half right-handed clubs. But like, I don't want to top every shot over a 6-iron either. So it's like, what does the guy do?
Well, it'll be a good test for your game, man. If you can't play in front of him, you can't play, period. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, so it doesn't get completely carried away, I think I'll just take my left-handed driver, and then I'll take Easton's 6-iron and 5-iron, and use Mike P's high bear 3-wood if I get into a spot where I need it, I think is what I'll do. But that's going to be even more awkward, asking him to borrow a club.
Oh, Mike P quit golf for like 20 years. He feels it.
Then.
He feels it.
True. That's crazy, though. I remember hearing that story, and I still didn't believe it until he actually confirmed it himself. But that's crazy. He just got so mad that he quit golf for 20 years.
when his irons are on, man, he's got sick iron game. Like just a nice little baby cut. Oh,
Everything
watch
about like
all day.
his
So
swing
smooth.
and stuff always remind me of Freddie Couples. Just
Yeah,
pure
so
tempo,
smooth. Yeah.
Mr. Tempo.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's just going to be me and him. So those golf games like that are tough to find when it's just kind of you and a guy that loves the game as much as you do, and you're just out there, just the two of you, and there won't be many people out there at Gilbert on Friday. It'll kind of just be perfect. It'll be like when I played Madge with Ches. It was just kind of, you just go out there and enjoy golf, right? There's no other shit. You're not getting drunk, and you're not, it's just like a golf, I guess, the way it's meant to be played.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I had a few rounds like that with Drake this year, and we talked about how rare that is. We didn't have any music.
Yeah, you know what?
Filming, and it's you never really get that.
No music, and it's not like a men's night match, and you're playing against guys that you don't really want to be golfing with a whole lot, and it's just like two guys that just love golf that are just out there, and they're even better rounds when both guys are hitting it good, and you kind of just like everything just flows, It's like
at the same time, though, something like that. Do you play for like money or anything? Because I feel like I have a hard time showing up at the course and just golfing for fun.
See, and I love that. Like I don't know. Like we'll obviously play a match, but not really for money. Just kind of
bragging rights.
Yeah. Just so there's something to keep you in the holes and shit. But anyways, that's a long intro for me. Sorry, boys.
Then we'll move on to Rossman. George, what's happening out there, buddy?
Top of the evening to boys and girls. I don't know if any girls are watching other than Bridge and Arnie.
Arnie's not a girl.
True.
Well,
they're out there. Arnie had quite the night. He's been sleeping. I think he slept all day Sunday, all day Monday. We didn't even take him for a walk. He was so tired on Sunday. He was having a time at drums for sure. I think he had, out of everybody there, I think Arnie had the best time. Like by 100 times. But no, it's good. Things are good here. It's cold today. I took Arnie for a walk, and it was the first day where it was like my hands were cold. It was windy. I couldn't hear the podcast I was listening to because it was so windy. But the course still looks great here. So I definitely got to get out a couple more times. I got to get to the clubhouse too for a few things, pick up our stuff, whatever's left of it, and then the Ironman this weekend. So it's kind of, I titled this one "Put a Bow on It," kind of like I don't know if it's the last official one of the summer, but we're getting close. So we got, I don't know, what is it? It's October already. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Nuts. It's gross.
Nuts. So we got October. We got the U.S. election in a month. And October's been off to a hot start so far with world events. So I'm glad we're out here. Let's just say that. I'm glad we're in a little secluded area with all the madness going on in the world. So outside of that, there's not a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. What are you guys thinking for the winter this year in terms of golf? I guess you guys, drums especially, you got it a little bit better than me and Reggie. You're going to get some swings in with all the Sims popping up in Brandon, but I don't know. I guess we got one in Rossburn too. I'll probably play in that league again. It's just hard.
The Swingers City or whatever it's called?
Swingers Club.
Yeah.
The best golf simulator name out there. I'm just.
Yeah, I'll be relevant for the winter. So.
I wonder if they have any walk-ups come in thinking they're an actual swingers club. Like a couple shows up with no clubs.
Just tossed.
Guys just got a 3-piece on. So.
No, that's it though. I actually
George playing against Marty.
What's that?
They walk into you play a one-on-one match against Marty.
Here for the gangbang?
I'll have to ask Marty, actually. I think Marty listens to the podcast, so I wonder if he can chime in. Maybe he can text me, Marty, to see if anybody has accidentally showed up thinking they're in a different spot than they are. But anyways, watched a ton of golf. Drummy, you didn't get to watch much, but we're going to talk through a few things tonight about it anyways. It was a disappointing loss for the boys, but outside of the party, what else has been up in Brandon?
Yeah, man, we kind of it was definitely the busiest Saturday we've had in a long time. We were supposed to have Lucas skating in the morning. That got canceled just because we didn't have anything ready. We had family photos at the lake prior to that, so it was just kind of a gong show trying to get everything ready. So skating got kicked to the curb, and then we had a little shaker in the evening. It was a good strong 2-day hangover. Sunday after we got we picked up the I guess Sunday after we picked up the kids, it was a lot of fort building, and me and Luca had about 4 naps in the fort, so tried to regroup as best we could, but boys, it's getting harder to recover.
Sunday was absolutely terrifying.
I almost found Monday worse. It's crazy.
You guys were off Monday too.
3 a.m. hit ya.
Jeez.
But yeah, and we did get a bit of a round in. I think we had Drake come, and he did some filming with us. So we kind of pulled an audible on the first tee and decided that we should probably, what are we filming? We're not just going to film like us playing a random round. So we decided.
Holy, what a show. Reggie leaves his drum, unplugs his mic.
Did you see me unplug?
I had to go let the boys in for some subs.
But we decided to follow Bryson's YouTubing, and instead of breaking 50, we tried to break 25. We were playing 9 holes. We had 5 of us, so we kind of padded our stats a bit, and I don't think we came even a sniffer's chance in hell of reaching 25.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we were close, man.
What were we? 27?
Well, 27. But if we knocked that, well, we shouldn't spoil the video too much, but if we knocked in that 1 on 2, we probably would have had a lot more interest in the 1 on 8.
It's true. The 1 on 2 hurt
Very
us.
true.
Drake put it to about 10 feet from the tee box on hole 2 at Wheat City. It was wild.
And that
insane.
That
from the Reds, but still, hell of a drive.
That number 3 tee box is atrocious. That might have cost us the 25 right there.
Man, you should.
We parred that.
Try hitting from the whites.
It's the same tee box except 30 yards back, or 40 yards back.
Yeah, but I feel like that might I feel like that might be better though.
It's hard to hit wedges on shitty ground.
Oh, almost impossible. Like you have to pick it.
Yeah.
But
back to your right-handed shenanigans though. So this was kind of my first time seeing it fully in the flesh, and watching Reggie absolutely lace into a right-handed drive. Was that 4 that you clocked that one?
5.
5.
Just
4 and 5.
Absolute. Yeah, 4 and back to back. Just a couple of piss missiles just launched. And here I am. I can't get off a tee box. I'm getting dink outs off the ladies' tee. It was just.
You switching to left?
I might have to. We should have traded clubs, Reg.
You asked to hit my driver. Right? I quickly declined. That thing's almost brand new.
Smart play.
I mean, like I said the last week or whenever it was, like when I hit a drive right-handed, I've never seen a ball fly like that left-handed. Like it doesn't go as far as maybe I used to hit it left-handed, but like just the ball flight is just like a riser almost. I don't know. I've never seen it. I enjoy watching it. That's why I'm kind of hooked on it right now.
Like I think you had the longest drive by quite a bit on 3 holes. So that's pretty damn good for the wrong hand.
Against some stiff competition too.
Yeah, you got to beat my 10-yard drives. I feel like if I could golf, we could have beat that. It comes down to putting.
That's a tough score.
Yeah,
that's 12 under. No, 11 under through 9 holes. It's
possible.
It's possible. You have to birdie every hole in the Eagle 2 holes, and the par 3s are. I would say that the par 3s are the hardest part of that.
Well, for sure, because those are actually like actual shots. Like the other ones, we had wedge into every green.
Yeah.
Like inside 100, but you don't have that on par 3s, and that's why, like in scrambles, even they're par 3s are the hardest birdies.
So that's why I always kind of second guess why we don't do strokes on par 3s in men's night.
Yeah, there's just less. There's usually less higher numbers. That's the problem, or that's the reason for it. And I mean, there's been a lot of conversation back and forth between the people wanting strokes on par 3s and the committee who doesn't want strokes on par 3s. And really, it's nothing to do with like the actual matches itself. The one thing I've noticed in our golf league is like because of those things, because we have no strokes on par 3s, because we have only single strokes, there's no double strokes like a lot of leagues have. The quality of golf is better. When a guy signs up for the golf league, they always over the years lower their handicap. It never goes the other way. So it just encourages good golf. It makes it funner, I think. I don't know. I'm on the side of like the handicap thing kind of bothers me a bit, but I understand it. It still bothers me though.
You guys are always off 1 though, right?
Yeah.
See, like so many times in Gilbert, it's like you end on a par 3 because of the way the shotgun works, or it's in the last 2 holes, and it's like we're 1 down, and then you got to play, and you got to give guys strokes on the par 3.
Yeah, it's a nightmare
in the last 2 holes, which most of the times now, like it benefits me and Dad because Dad will have a stroke there,
or the match might be done too.
You almost feel guilty doing that. You know,
that's what I mean. Like that's why I don't love handicaps to begin with. It's like you talk to guys who understand and love golf and want to get better, and they're like, I feel guilty about taking strokes and winning a match because I had a stroke. So,
but that's easy to say in like a Brandon that you could have a league where there is no real handicaps. But I mean, we're fighting tooth and nail just to get a whole
for sure
men's night together in Gilbert. So you can't really tell a guy that's a 22 handicap that he's going to play me straight up. You know,
but
it's hard. We talk about it every time. It's another one of those pipe dreams when we're drunk that we're going to start our own league and just travel around from course to course on a men's night. And no strokes. Whoever wants to play. And
if you talk to us about it, I'd be into that.
It's so hard it'd be so hard. We were going to buy a bus, and it's hard to do. Like, it's hard to, the loyalty to the men's night in Gilbert and the men's night in Dauphin is a major reason why we don't do it here. Because you don't really want to, it's kind of a community thing here, almost like, you don't want to take away from that to make your own quote unquote super league, I guess you could say.
We should look into something like that though for the guys who are able to. I don't think you'd want to leave your league. I don't think I want to leave the league, but it'd be fun to do something like that with a group of guys who, it'd be different than going out to the men's night and having 3 or 4 beers, going in for drinks after. Like, this would be more, if we were to do it, it'd be like, guys are coming from here, we're meeting there. Guys are driving home. It's more about the golf than it is like, the men's night usual stuff that the shenanigans. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I really do.
We should do a league versus league Ryder Cup one year.
Live versus PGA.
Yeah.
They have to do that before. I think they've kind of missed the opportunity though, because I don't think that the animosity is there anymore where it was.
No. I meant like us.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, but I was thinking I got sidetracked there with the Live PGA stuff. Because I think that they missed a huge opportunity there of Live PGA, and I think that that's passed. That could have been Arnie's going nuts out there. That could have been like a monumental golf event, I feel like. Anyways, let's get to do we got cheers tonight, boys? Who are we cheersing? Let's cheers Justin Trudeau for doing such an amazing job of handing out the pro. Fucking dipshit.
That's my president.
Great job.
That's my president. They called him president, eh?
I'm a fucking idiot.
No, we should give a shout out though, to who should we shout out? I mean, the whole thing. Like Weersy, I know he had some questionable things we'll get into. The course itself, it seemed like all the players loved it. It was fun to watch. It was as much as I like watching players struggle, it was a lot of fun to see how good they are. Like it seemed like, they're staring down 480-yard par fours with 120 yards in and putting it to 3 feet. Like it's just insane how good those guys are at golf. And
yeah,
so,
for something like the team play events, you need a course that they can actually rip apart.
yeah, I think so too. It was fun to watch. So Montreal, the Canadian fans, I think they had a tough start to the day. Friday, though, was a whole different story. But I just think, we should give a cheers to the international boys because, I mean, they were kind of behind the eight ball the entire time. I think that they were definitely the underdogs on paper, like clearly, without a doubt, underdogs on paper. But
Not
they
our
put up
paper,
a hell of a
apparently.
fight, especially after the start that they had there on Thursday. Like, it would have been easy for that thing to get way out of control. So
Yeah, everything that could have went wrong on Thursday. And
yeah,
they fought back to make it an event.
it was a lot
But
of fun.
not
To watch.
like Thursday didn't go off the rails. Yeah, they lost every match, but it was
No, just very close matches.
close matches. 1-2.
That's what I mean. Everything that could have went wrong. Like they shouldn't have been down 5 after day one.
Right.
Like they shouldn't have been. I watched tracked a lot of it, watched a lot of it. They just kind of, that's how those things go though, honestly.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers to the international boys.
Cheers to them, and then we get right into it.
What
Thursday.
do you guys think the main storyline was for the weekend? Like, what was not necessarily the main storyline, but like what caused the outcome to be such a lopsided victory for the U.S. when they were tied through 36 holes for 2 days, I guess.
I don't know that there's an answer other than the states are better.
I think the States have so many guys, and it's the Ryder Cup and it's the President's Cup. It's every time these guys really like Cantlay.
Cantlay was a stud.
When's the last time you heard his
Absolute unit.
name?
Can't stand the guy, but holy Christ.
Schauffele, nobody. Still, with the year Schauffele's had, I know people do talk about him, but he still doesn't get what he should at all.
No,
Like,
I think
at all.
there was a time on this podcast where we've all said he's the most underrated golfer on tour and the best golfer that hasn't won a major. And then this year, all that happens, and he's still supremely underrated.
Because of what Scott is doing right now.
Right.
It's the only reason. And then you look at a guy like, I don't know, man. Like Sam Burns, hate him too, but the guy's just a gamer. And maybe he can't get that intensity during regular tournaments, but like when he gets into a team event like that, like he was good. Like,
I mean, Keegan's like that too, right?
Yeah.
Like Keegan meanders around almost through tournaments unless he's in contention, and then you see that like that ferociousness to him. And then you get in a team event, and it's like from jump, he's got that in him. Which would be fun to see him if he can actually. If he carries on this way, will he be the first playing captain?
Can he still be captain though if he's on the team?
I think so.
I don't know that it's ever been like an issue before.
No, me either.
Like a possibility. Usually, especially with the Ryder Cup and stuff, the captains are generally older.
Past.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought he was past.
And then all of a sudden he kicks it into gear. Good for him, man.
It's kind of weird though, because he should have been on the team last year in Paris. Was it Paris? The last Ryder Cup. He should have been on that team. If there was no politics involved.
That's when they called him. So they called him and told him that he wasn't on the team.
Yeah, like he should have been on the team. So why do you go from like him being on the team to making him captain? Like, was that a thing that they just did to make him feel better? Because like I feel like if he was there, yeah,
it was a makeup call.
And I think that they asked Tiger and he said no.
Yeah, shocker.
Like, I think he said no because he still thinks he has like aspirations of being there
Tiger.
Tagger?
as a player.
Where the hell's he been? Is he coming back ever?
Back to the overall. I think to summarize it from my view, I think that the internationals, the only time that they really had a chance is when they rode the momentum, but they couldn't ever just like completely carry that momentum over to winning. And eventually, US's talent and how much better they were would just rise
Chipped
to the
away.
top near the end of the matches, right? And just chip away. Like the internationals would ride the momentum and things would just be going crazy. And then Cantley would knock in like 230-footers, or Shoffley would knock in 230-footers, or, and then it would just like suck the life out of everything. Because they are definitely the better golfers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I had a different perspective of it, but I just think that the U.S. team outclassed them more than anything. Like the internationals, they showed like the first day, all the matches were tight. They lost all of them, but all the matches were tight. The second day, they came out and absolutely laid a beat down on those guys. Like some of the matches were like 7-6,
like smoking.
Like I don't know that we can really sit here and say that the U.S. team is that much better. I just didn't see that. I didn't, and I could be wrong here, but I just think that they outclass them. I think that they talked about it kind of on the Sunday there, but they showed up when they needed to in the final holes. Like up until those holes for a lot of those matches, they were very close. They could have gone either way, and I really think that the thing that hurt the internationals was sitting some of the boys. Like I think 3 of the guys didn't play all day Friday or Saturday. Like Minwoo Lee played Thursday and then not till Sunday. Like that's kind of a joke
tough
to me. It's not like he's a shitty player. Like he won he tied his singles match, but he's an electric guy. He's a guy you want out there.
Yeah, that was weird to me.
Jason, he was playing the best golf that I've seen him play in a long time. He looked like he cared more than anybody else out there, and he sat the whole day Saturday.
Yeah.
What do you do? Because we were pissed. We were pissed off that Mac was sitting the first day.
Yeah.
And I forget what pairings, but there was 2 pairings that we were like questioning Friday before things got going, and we were like,
TK was out.
Yeah, Tommy didn't play, so we were like questioning that, and then they won every match, so that kind of overwrote that. But I don't know. I don't think the blame is solely on the pairings and who he put out, but it's a part of it.
Yeah.
It matters for sure. It does. There's no question.
I just think that they kind of went through Friday thinking that like they were invincible at that point because the matches were so lopsided.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like Jay Day was a big part of that. Like he was almost the champion of that, and to sit him the whole day on Friday, like I could see taking Friday morning off. I don't want to call him an older guy because he's probably like either younger than me or my age, but like
he's your vet.
Yeah, he's a veteran, so he could use some rest there. But you have to get those young guys in there and just like be part of it because they're the ones who bring the energy. And even if they fail, like at least give them a shot at it. I don't know. I didn't like that. And they kind of kept saying like, this was the plan. We stuck with the plan. It's like, no, you can't just set something before you know what's happening and expect that you have to evolve. You have to change with what's going on. In my opinion, as if I were ever a captain, I would never have a plan before and feel like I had to stick with that the whole time. That's just stupid.
No, I think you're 100% right. Like you should, going into it, have some preset pairings for the first day. That's it. After that, it's who's hot, who's going, who can use a boost, who can sit.
But I think that there's probably a lot of analytics that go into like the alternate shot because that is different. That's a lot more than setting 2 guys out in best ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Analytics played a big part. I was reading of how they set up the golf course. So
Like pins and stuff?
They not even just pins, it was like locations of length of the rough. So if the internationals were statistically better from the rough around the greens, they at a certain length, like they had all this
Like to
data
favor
that they
the
used
internationals?
to favor the internationals, which
Yeah, I
is what
think
you
they
do
do
on
that
home
in most
soil. That's
events.
not
Yeah.
abnormal. But this year, apparently it was the statistics to it, the Moneyball aspect to it, was used more than it has been in previous years, where it was like they saw who, depending on which day the wind, or depending on the day, where's the wind blowing. Okay, these guys play better with this type of wind. These guys play worse with this type of
That's a
wind.
real
That's who we're
thing, though,
putting
for
out.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
But
mean,
to just rely on that is, we've seen
Yeah.
this in hockey, we've seen this in baseball, we've seen this in
Baseball.
everything that tries to implement it. You can't solely go
Doesn't
off
work.
that.
Doesn't work. No, you got to go off field too. Who was outside of Siwoo and Tom Kim, the Kims? Who was who did you take a liking to? You guys, both of you.
I think Adam Scott for me. Adam Scott. I mean, we've talked about him once in a while on this podcast. I remember watching like an hour-long interview or like a documentary about Adam Scott and talking about it after on here and saying how much, I enjoyed it and how much differently I thought about him after. But like, you have to feel for that guy, man. I think that was his 11th President's Cup. He's over.
Crazy.
He's played with some older boys now, some rookies. He's kind of just like, I don't know. It's tough. I feel like he's just such a player. Every shot I saw of his, where he had to hit a shot, he hit it, and it was like so pure. The putting thing kind of bothers me a little bit. His broomstick putting, but a lot of the guys have that now. Siwoo has it. Benny has it, I think, too. But no, I really enjoyed watching Adam Scott, and he's always had the nicest swing in golf. But it's, I never really watch him. If there's a tournament on, the cameras never show him. I never go out of my way to check on how he's been doing. But like some of the shots that he hit under pressure and some of the longer putts he made, I was very impressed with Adam Scott.
There's something with Adam Scott that I don't know if it's just he never seemed to live up to what he should have been.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's him or if that's just the expectation. He's again, everybody's the next Tiger, the newest thing to come out. He was kind of that first one though, right? Him and Tyron.
Yeah, same era.
Same era. They're supposed to be the next big thing. And like he's a lot of people our age. He's got to be up there in that. This has been my favorite golfer for 20 years.
Do you think? Like I was going to say the opposite. I was thinking more along the lines of he was always between Sergio and him, a few other guys, but they were like the guy that was always against Tiger. And so I feel like people just kind of always have that in the back of their mind that they could never really cheer for him because Tiger was always around to cheer for, especially guys who love Tiger.
That's fair too. But if you say top 5 golfers of the past 20 years, if he's not in that top 5, you're nuts.
But he wouldn't be.
You don't think so?
People's.
I guess
he is, but he wouldn't be for whatever reason. I'm with Jor. He was I asked you guys because that was my pick. I think it's because he had Steve Williams for his caddy, and I just grew to hate him because I didn't want Steve Williams to win. And
Steve was on his bag when he was criticizing Tiger, right?
And when he was so good.
Yeah.
Like Adam Scott was so good, and you just hated him because it was caddy, because it was Steve Williams who was going against Tiger at the time, and it was like nobody wants Adam Scott to win because then you have to watch this dipshit celebrate with him. But man, I was watching it at work, like on a Saturday, and I watched 2 of his swings in a row, and I was like, man, this guy could legitimately play until he's like 60.
For sure.
That swing's not changing, and there's nothing that's torquing his body. There's nothing that's it's the nicest swing in golf, without a question. Doesn't make any sense, actually.
And he'll top 10 until he's 62.
Oh, for sure. He's so good. Like, he is still so good at golf.
Well, we'll see if they figure out this putter anchoring, if that absolutely fucks them or not. But
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's insane. I think outside of him, I got to go back to Jay Day. Just the kind of, I don't know, maybe it was like 5 years where he kind of had like a dip, not even a fall off. I guess you could call it a fall off because he was nowhere to be found, really.
That was like last year, man.
And then you throw some goofy pants and some dumb shirts on this guy, and he's got his shit back together.
Yeah. Melbourne's tough.
Actually,
it's worked for him.
Visor.
It's growing on me.
For him.
Like, he was wearing a visor all weekend? That was nasty.
Yeah. He actually pulled it off well.
Yeah, he did, which is hard to do.
Adam Scott is 44. Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Crazy.
He's sick.
I would have guessed like 40.
I would probably said higher, actually, but
higher than 44?
Yeah.
Really?
Outside of those two for the internationals, again, it's just the Koreans. This is the only time you actually get to see some personality out of those guys was in this team event. Siwoo, Tommy, Benny, like it's Sonny.
Benny. Sonny. Oh my God. Watching him do the Gangnam style, God, that kills me.
There's so much just like those guys are so lovable. Like they're just
so lovable.
Oh.
And then like
so good too. Like,
and then they're getting into it with.
I really don't think that there's a whole lot that separates the internationals from the US. Like if they,
but there is though, and then that cream rises
really
at the end of the weekend.
I really don't think that there is.
Hideki, like Jesus.
Hideki beats Jeff.
Hideki's actually a beauty.
Unreal.
Like he's cool to watch.
I don't know. It just seems like the internationals have slipped into this like fun. I mean, you have to keep it loose and fun, of course, but like you're also there to golf, and I just feel like with the internationals, I feel like they've kind of got into this. I don't even know what you'd call it. They just got used to losing, and I think that that's a hard thing to really get out of. I think kind of where they're trending now with all the young guys they have, and some vets too. But I think if they can win one of these, like I think that's going to change the next decade for that team. They just got to get one to have some belief in themselves.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Because I don't think that like the U.S. can't get better. I don't think because there literally isn't the next Tiger Woods behind these guys.
Well, apparently there's some really good college golfers coming up.
They can stay the same, in my opinion. I don't know if they can get better. I
agree.
Yeah,
we're catching up.
I agree.
Yeah. And like you said, Jordan, and you get into that mentality. I mean, I went through it with just on a smaller scale, like with the Parkland Rangers, like you start winning and you start trying so hard not to lose instead of trying to win. And it's such a crazy thing. And you start gripping and you're trying not to lose.
Exactly.
And it's a crazy thing.
And that's the difference between holes 15 and 18. And that's, if you looked at the stats, like that's where the U.S. cleaned them up because they're used to winning. They're used to getting those matches, those points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Team International is trying not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the difference in mentality of like Sam Burns versus whoever down those last three holes. Like it's crazy. It's crazy to see the difference there to me.
Yeah.
I think it was sorry, Drums. I was just going to say I think it was on like the 16th hole, par 3 or 17, maybe 17. But it was Tom Kim and Sam Burns. And Tom Kim just came back. I think he tied it up after being 2 down against Burns. And he won 16, I think. So it was a square. And then so Tom Kim was up. He hit it to about 2 feet. Sam Burns takes about 10 seconds to hit before the camera's hardly even on him. He puts it to inside of Tom Kim, I think, or just outside.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference there for me.
Yeah.
Is they just expect to win, that they know how to close matches. And it is very hard to, if you played golf before in a match play event, that's the hardest thing to do is close out a match.
But It's the same
And
thing
these
in
guys
any
don't play
sport,
it
right?
much, right?
Right. And it's the same thing in every sport, though. I mean, guys add these grizzled vets that have won Stanley Cups because they know what it takes to win, right?
Mhm.
It's the same as Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
Like, he
Agreed.
didn't win for so many years, and then he got a taste of winning once, and now it's like he
Agreed.
knows how to do it, and he knows how to close it out. And that's why X is doing what he's doing now, because he did it. And now it's just like, yeah, I can do it. I did it already.
Monkey's off your back. You know
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing
It's
that you did previously was different than you winning this time. So like the realization of that, it's like, oh, okay. Like
Mhm.
it can take some pressure off you.
There were some wild golf shots played on the weekend.
Just hold on before we move on. Like that, to me, if you just think about everything you just said there and what we've been talking about, like you have your veterans on your team. Adam Scott is the veteran on internationals, never won a President's Cup. That's the
No.
guy you're looking to for, like, advice, for tips, how to win.
Right.
Like bringing in a veteran for the Stanley Cup. That's what those guys are there for. The veterans are there because they know how to win. And when your veteran is never won a President's Cup before, like that's who you're looking to for advice. And it's like, what the hell? What do I do?
And they have no option though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're not
They
going
haven't
to
won
leave
in
Adam
20
Scott
years.
out.
Right. But they haven't won in 20 years. So you can't go grab a winner, even if he's 75 years old, because they don't exist.
And that's kind of what started this whole thing for me, is like, I really don't think that they're that far behind, regardless of world rankings, stuff like that. Like, I think that all things being equal, like the internationals are right there with them. That's the thing that they're missing, is that winning mentality.
It's like the saying goes, good teams find ways to win and bad teams find ways to lose. And it's just unfortunately the way it goes. And
Yeah,
until
on the
they get over
weekend,
that hump.
on the weekend you saw that.
Yeah.
US just stepped on it and they got a hold of international's throat, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
crazy to me too. Like, some guys like just build off of the pressure of playing with a partner, like actually alternate shot. Like, Sonny didn't make a birdie the first 18 holes, and then he goes out and I think they made like 7 birdies on the second day. 7 birdies in a row, maybe.
Like alternate shot.
Alternate shot, which is completely out of your control, and you make 7 birdies. You don't, with playing your own ball the day before, you don't make one. And he makes 7 birdies in a row playing alternate shot. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Mac Hughes and Connors were -7 alternate shot.
But that's crazy. That is actually
Crazy.
insane. You know how hard alternate shot is? Do you guys do it in yours?
No.
We
We
do it
should
at
know.
Legacy Cup. It's hard. And we do it like a modified of it. So it's like,
Take the best ball.
well, you both hit your tee shots and you both hit the guy's second shot.
Oh,
And
really?
go from there.
Oh,
So
that's
like
kinda-
if me and you were playing together, I would drive, you'd hit my second shot, and you would drive and I'd hit your second shot. It's actually kind of sick.
right. So you're still playing all the golf pretty much.
Yeah. It's just to eliminate like just getting to hit like one shot per hole.
Yeah, and it's tough when you're paying $80 to play a course and you hit half the shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you, drums.
Drumsy going through it right now. This is flashbacks of the trailer.
Flashback to our early days of the show. Okay, I got a couple more notes here that I wanted to talk about, and then we can kind of move on. We got a few other things to discuss tonight. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and this is more so like actionable maybe for some people, but this is just kind of what I observed through the weekend. But when you're playing the best ball, like what do they call it? Better ball? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just best ball. Yeah. Like men's night golf.
Men's night stuff.
Yeah.
The only times that there was, one of the strategies that people like to use in that case is like when you got 2 putts, let's say me and Drums are on a team, Drums is 10 feet, I'm 4 feet. One of the strategies that a lot of groups will use is they'll let the closer guy go first, because in that scenario, in the match play stuff, the team actually gets to decide who goes. Whoever is away, they get to decide which player goes first out of the 2. It's not who's ever furthest away from the hole. So there was a couple times, and this is the one thing that I noticed through the weekend, is like whenever that first guy would go, let's say that I was 4 feet away, I never saw the guy make that one time. And then the second guy goes from 10 feet with more pressure on. I never seen him make that putt either. I think that's a dumb strategy. And the reason I think that is because playing from experience, like in scrambles and stuff like that, whenever you're the first guy, you have no pressure on you. You don't have any sort of focus. You know that there's a guy or three guys or at least one guy behind you that still has a chance to do it. So you don't have the same kind of like mental focus that you would otherwise if you had to make the putt. And I just think that it's easier to have that stress and the pressure from 4 feet than it is from 10 feet. Like let the 10-footer go. And if he misses it, I mean, there's probably like a 50%, 60% chance he makes it. If he doesn't, you're pretty confident you can make a 4-footer and you know that you have to make that. So you just dial it in.
Right. Like I think you're more likely to make either one as long as it's the first putt.
Yeah.
Whichever one you hit.
But kind of what I'm saying is like that's the part that's the strategy there. But I think that the first guy who goes, because there's no pressure on them, they just, you don't have the same kind of focus there. And I think that when you have the pressure on, it's a lot harder to make one from 10 feet than it is from 4 feet. That's kind of my argument there.
I think that it's irrelevant for like, say like I got like a 20-footer, not much break. Not much changes whether I ram it in or I leg it. Whereas if I got like a 35-footer that like I can take an aggressive line at it, and if I miss, I'm gonna be like 6 feet past, or I have to leg it and like play a lot more break just to get it close. That's when I think that it pays off for the guy that's like 5 feet to go first, because if he putts that and makes that, then I can actually try to make it on the aggressive line where you actually have a hope to make that putt instead of legging it.
I'm kind of confused.
So like if I have like a 35, if I have a 35-foot slider, right?
You're both going for birdie?
No.
Oh, I'm talking like you're both going for birdie here.
Oh, I didn't think they did that. I thought they were only doing it like.
No.
This other guy was going for par.
This is like 2 birdie putts I'm talking here.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't see that.
Kind of the idea there is kind of what Drum said, is like you'd think that whoever goes first has a better chance because there's less pressure there. That's kind of like the mentality is like if you got 4-footer, you have no pressure, you should be able to make that putt easily, right? It's a 4-foot putt. But every time I saw it, they missed it because kind of what I'm saying here is like there's no pressure there because if you miss it, you got a backup plan. And I mean, it's 10 feet, it's 12 feet. It just puts the guy in a weird position, I think, both guys. It's just it's not natural.
I think their strategy with that would be like if you were 10, I was 4, and the other team was 6, that you want to put that 4-footer to get the pressure on them.
Yeah, that's probably something to do.
They have to make the putt after you're already in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that angle. The other team. I was just thinking your team's putts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's probably why they try to do that, to put the pressure on the 6-footer. It would make that a lot farther, because if the 10-footer misses and the 6-footer makes, then you got to make that to tie the hole. Whereas if you make the 4-footer to start,
I think you're wrong there though, because like if I was 4 feet away and you were 10 feet, both for birdie, regardless of what the other team is. Like in your case, you said they're 6 feet away. If I putted first from 4 feet, the 10-foot putt is still away, so they're going back to back. They're not watching their putt. If I missed, yeah.
Right.
But if you make, then that 6-footer becomes for the tie instead of to make it before you can make yours.
Oh yeah,
right. So,
yeah. I don't know.
So if you walk up and make the 4-footer, it makes that 6-footer a lot farther. Whereas if your 10-footer goes first,
no, that's
misses, and then the 6-footer. Yeah, and that putt always misses because it feels weird playing out of turn.
And there's no pressure. You don't have the same kind of focus that you would if you had to make it.
But like if in our men's night, like if Dad has like a 12-footer for par and I'm just off the green, and I can give a chip a run if he makes that par putt.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. I agree with that too.
Yeah. But I think that's why they would do that, is to try to put the pressure on that 6-footer instead of having the pressure on them.
I mean, at that point, you just want to get the ball in the hole, though.
Right.
Yeah,
Me,
but there is something to be said about
you want to try to
putting.
play like 10D chess here with each other, just like make the putt.
But it is harder to make the putt when it's for a tie than if you're making it to put pressure on the other guy.
But it's also easier to make it if the other team misses and it's for the win. There's no pressure on you to miss
No,
it.
because then it's still pressure too.
I don't know.
You're winning the hole. I don't know.
That's just one
It's a
thing I know.
strategy. Yeah.
I never saw anybody make the closer putt, and the second putt always missed too. So they had a 4-footer and a 10-footer for birdie, and they ended up missing both every time I saw it. So dumb.
What did you guys think of Kiz? I didn't even realize he was around this thing until Max dunked that one from the fairway on Sunday. After Kiz told him he would rip his tarp off and have a celebration if he did that, i.e. the Solheim Cup the weekend before.
I'm not a huge Kiz guy, man.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I don't get it. I'm with you guys. Like, I get it. He's probably like this lovable dude if we're having beers and shit, but I don't get, like, does that mean you're on the President's Cup captaincy team?
Yeah.
But I mean, he made the Ryder Cup, didn't he? Or was it?
I think the boys like him though.
Yeah, he played Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
He was
I don't
horrible
know.
at it, wasn't he? Like, I don't think he won him. I don't think he even came
I don't
close
think he
to
won a match.
anything.
I'm not a Kiz guy. We've established that on this pod that we're not Kiz guys at all.
Yeah, he just doesn't do it for me. But again, the boys seem to like him. So if that helps, then keep him around.
Scotty said he was his good luck charm.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to talk about here was, I mean, we kind of touched on it already, but I really don't think that people are fully giving props to Xander. Like, a few of the stats that I heard about him, like, I wrote a couple down here. He was the number one up and down for the year, 70%. 70% of the time from wherever he was, he got up and down. That's an incredible statistic. I forget how many putts it was, but throughout the whole year, there was one putt under 3 feet that he missed one time. Every putt. Think about that. He won 2 majors, so those are like the 2 most important putts of your life. But like, outside of that, even coming down the stretch, like, you guys, you know how hard those putts can be when there's pressure on the line. It doesn't matter if it's like I mean, maybe they might be more used to it than we are, but like, to miss one putt the whole year from under 3 feet, like, that's almost Tiger Woods kind of statistics.
Well,
And
can you
then,
imagine if Scheffler had those?
yeah, no
stats?
shit.
Whew.
And then there was another one too. I think that he was the top iron player, like the number 1 iron player of the year. So the announcers kept saying it, like, he has no weak spots, but it's like, it's scary how good he is. And then you watch him drive the ball. I don't think I saw him in trouble once for the weekend.
No.
Like, not even like in the rough the whole weekend. What are you supposed to do against a guy like that? That's a literal nightmare to golf against.
It's a cheat code.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, Jason Day got sacrificed on Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
And like, they have him and Scotty on the same team. Like, that's a double cheat code. I mean,
And
Scotty
then
got
Morikawa. They said in the practice rounds, his driver was so dialed that he was actually throwing his ball from the fairway into the rough in case he missed the fairway, because he didn't miss any fairways. I think he missed 1 fairway in all his practice rounds.
If you guys were the captains for Sunday where they were sitting singles, who would you guys have put against Xander?
Probably Jason Day.
Really?
Because I think just for the sole reason that nobody was going to beat him anyways. So
who do you play?
Day.
Rinsed him.
I might actually go Tom Kim.
I think you're just wasting a chance to win a different match in that case.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the tough part.
Very true. But I think Tom Kim, whatever he's got going on aura-wise at these events, that's the only thing you can throw at either Xander or Scotty to try to pull them off their game. Because otherwise you're getting rinsed no matter what. So if you pull a guy out there who's throwing his putter down when he's not giving putts, like, kind of playing the shenanigans to it. Maybe that's a way to pull him off. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that works. I don't think it does.
I think you just throw Lamb out. Unfortunately, Dave was the guy.
Yeah.
It's the whole day on Saturday and then gets thrown into the X.
Yeah, you got to feel for JD on that part of things. Holy. I might actually have put in, I don't know, a guy who like could beat him, but like
Sonny?
I might have put who?
Sonny
Yeah, I mean Sonny lost his match, so
or Corey Connors?
Actually, I'd go Corey. Corey, because Corey might be the only guy on tour that might be able to match him shot for shot until they get to the green.
Yeah. Who was I going to say there though? I mean, I kind of agree with Drums there. Like in that case, if you know that nobody's like legitimately nobody on your team could beat him 18 holes the way he's playing, like throw Tom Kim out there and just see what happens. Like maybe he gets hot, maybe he starts bothering Xander, because I don't think that Jay Day was somebody who could get on Xander's nerves and like throw him off his game. And I feel like it's not like hockey here where you're going at like trying to run the goalie or whatever, but like I feel like you could do something like that to try to get somebody who's that good off their game.
So the next question is like, can you?
Well, especially here you can, because the crowd around them is gonna feed into that. Twitter is gonna do whatever the fuck Twitter does, and it did that anyways. But like on the course around it, people would have just been feeding Tom Kim, hyping him up if he got into some shenanigans.
But do you think that just seems like he's impossible to phase?
Which is fair.
He's like he's just
but you still got to try.
I know, but so he's just like, but he got kicked, didn't he?
Who?
Like they lost on 13, I think.
Who?
On Friday.
Schauffele on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. He lost to Sonny and Matsuyama, I think. But
that's a different thing too. Like that's him and his partner, and it's
alternate shot.
Yeah. Singles, I don't think Scotty could beat Schauffele in singles. Not one match. He'd beat him in a best of 7, but
yeah, that'd be a good match. It's shitty that the US guys always gotta play with each other. It'd be nice to see some Scotty versus Xander.
And then Xander gets the Stogies out, of course, for the win.
Of course, like right after. It was like instantly.
Like as soon as it was called, he had one in his yeah.
That's awesome. It was like within a minute of the final point being clinched. He had
to go to the fairway and he's got a big stogie.
And his dad was there too, I think.
Yeah.
We got Sats Venture in the house from Australia here, lunchtime there. Said, love the show, boys. I did a 9-hole the other day, sent a few into the lake.
Nice.
It would be, they're probably just coming up to summer, I think, in Australia right now, because we got the seasons reversed with them. So it's probably spring in Australia right now.
It'd be nice.
Let's, do we got any final thoughts, or should we wrap it, put a bow on it for the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup this year?
One last thing. I'm team President's Cup over Ryder Cup. I have way more vested interest in President's Cup than I do in Ryder Cup. Well, I don't really care who wins the Ryder Cup, but honestly, I care a lot more about the President's Cup than I do about the Ryder Cup.
Well, it makes sense. So if you have a guy from Europe, which they care about more, obviously they'd say Ryder Cup.
Definitely. No, I know, but it's always been that I've always kind of cared about Ryder Cup a little more, but it's changing. The last 2 years have changed that for me. Maybe it's because all the Canadians are there and the Koreans.
The Canadians, I mean, this was in Canada. Plus, I feel like the internationals are so likable.
Yeah. Koreans.
Kims. Kims times 8.
Yeah, then they got Minwoo Lee in there too.
Who throws you off because he's Australian.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
There's a couple Aussies on the team, Adam Scott and Minwoo.
And J Day.
And J Day, yeah, that's true. True, very true.
Mark Leishman wasn't on there.
Is that all? It was South Korea, Canada, and Australia, right?
South Africa. Bezuidenhout was from South Africa.
Bezuidenhout.
All right.
He could have stayed in South Africa.
No way, man. He was the top pointer on that team.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Why?
Because I can't pronounce his goddamn name.
Because he fell apart at the end of every round.
One round.
He's lucky he had Jay Day on his team for that sick flop on 18.
Yeah, that was sick. That was very impressive. Boys, we're at an hour already. Do you want to get to the fix your divots and close out the segment officially? Or should we skip it?
I got nowhere to be.
No answer means we'll skip it. Okay, I'll give the best one for the night.
Oh, you wanted to do more than one?
I have like 10 here. But
let's do them next week.
A lot of them are the same.
Let's do them next week.
We're not here next week.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, the only one that I could find was, where was this? There was a lot of pitch marks on the greens. There's a lot of slow play. This was the one I wanted to talk about though. This is from Kale Mitchell. Says having to pay for range balls when you've already paid for the round. That's a dagger.
Love that one from Kale.
Man, I never even thought about that.
That's going to be one of the biggest kick in the nuts of all time. It's like, okay, I'm going to pay you $100 to go out and hit a ball around on your grass, and you're going to charge me $10 to go hit a few buckets first. Like that should be a crime.
10. Never mind 10. It's probably closer to 20.
That should be a crime.
And I showed up late, so I'm only going to get half this bucket in. This is why every time the 88 stats course is brought up, I say we give out 8 range balls. The moment you sign in, you go hit 8 shots. Too.
Yeah,
that's all I ever want. Give me 8 shots to just loosen my arms up, loosen my back up.
And 8 or 88, you get to choose.
Whatever you want, baby.
But no, like my opinion there is like, number one, you're already going to have a machine out there picking up balls. So this is no additional cost to you. Number two, if a guy's warmed up, he's going to be playing better, which means the pace of play is going to be better. It's a very much net positive for the experience there. Aside from a guy being pissed off and like, you could go to a course, you could overpay for the round, you could have a good day, you buy some drinks. And the one thing you're going to remember from that round is you had to pay $10 for a bucket of balls.
The world that we live in nowadays, where every dollar you need to stretch as far as you can. If you gave somebody a bucket of 10 balls to hit at your range before their round, no matter what they shot, they would be like, I got 10 extra balls there. That's the best bang for my buck. I'm going back. Or in turn, I was loose enough. I played really well at that course. I'm heading back there.
It's a no-brainer.
With you. I'll always be on that train. That's the worst thing about Weed City is they don't have a range. They used to have that net set up where you could go and just hammer them into the net. At least they get warmed up or loosened up.
Your lake has that, yeah.
Yeah. It's something. Yeah,
I agree.
It's an attempt.
What about a membership then? You got to pay?
I think it should be included.
No. Should be included for your
You have to get
rounds.
a range membership at Gilbert.
Which is fine for range sessions. If you're going golfing,
along with the membership.
They know that. What do you mean? Oh, you have to get both.
Yeah.
I kind of don't hate that either.
I mean, it is some good revenue for the course. And the other thing too is like, if you're a member out there, you're not going to be not golfing there. It's like it's kind of a different conversation. It's like if you're going to a new golf course, you're playing there, you're trying to give the golfer the best experience that you can give them, and you're charging them $10 for a bucket of balls.
Yeah.
But the shitty thing for me is like, I just don't hit balls in the range. But like I'll go out like and play 3 holes before, like just rush out there to go play 3 holes just so I can hit some shots, so I'm not just a board on the first tee.
But wait. So when you buy your course membership, you in turn have to buy a range membership as well?
Yeah.
You have to?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to use the range.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that was probably put in place is because there are guys who are out there, probably some who watch the show, that will go to the range every day and hit 3 buckets of balls.
Mm-hmm. I remember at Dauphin back in the day, if you had a range membership, you had 2 buckets of balls. They limited it. Yeah, I just don't go to the range.
I don't mind it.
Over.
I don't mind the range membership.
Lots of guys do. Lots of guys just build into their corporate membership and call it a day.
Okay. Well, that was sponsored by the Prairie Scratch Tour. This is going to be the last episode, I think, that the Prairie Scratch Tour unofficially sponsors. We're talking to Jordy today, and I don't know. We'll see. He gave us a little bit of news from his side. We don't really need to be sharing it. We don't know any sort of information on it, so we're just going to leave it there. But we do want to give us a big shout out to Prairie Scratch Tour for sponsoring the show for the last couple years, couple summers for sure. And they've been doing some great things there. So that's it. That's all we're going to say. We very much appreciate them. And it's nothing to do. It's really nothing. It's just the contact we had there is stepping away from the tour. So we're not sure what's going to happen with it. We're just saying if this is the last Fix Your Divot segment, we just want to give a big thanks to Prairie Scratch Tour for supporting the show. And on that note, we got a little bit more news that we should pass along tonight. The Kingdom is going to be taking a slight hiatus, we'll say. And we don't really know how long it's going to be, but we're just going to kind of take a step back, look at things from a higher angle, see what we can change, see what we want to keep, see what we want to get rid of, make a few changes to the overall structure. We'll see what we come up with. It's too soon to say at this point, see how long it's going to be. But this will be the last episode for a little while anyway. So I guess what I would say to people out there is it's not going to be our last episode. So don't think that this is the end of the boys here. But one thing I would say, and what I would encourage people to do, is that if you have been watching the show, if you've been enjoying the show, just shoot us a message or shoot us an email and say, I've been watching it. I really enjoy it. This is the parts that I like. This is what I'd like to see more of. If you want to support the show in any way, whatever that looks like to you, I think that would be very much appreciated for us to kind of keep things going. But again, we're not going anywhere. We're just taking a little bit of time off here. We're going to get organized and we're going to come back much better than before.
Yeah. On that note too, definitely not the end. For anybody listening or anybody who hears this podcast this week, if you have any suggestions on what we could improve, any suggestions, any segments you want us to add, if you think we should touch on local courses, if you think we should cover local tournaments, anything that can kind of generate some buzz. It's tough with us to generate. We're not having a tough time generating ideas. It's just we would like to hear your input a little more than I guess probably we have lately, right? I mean, just to kind of see what we've been doing wrong or what we've been doing right, things you enjoy. But the biggest thing would be like, what would make you and your friends watch the show? Because that's what we're after. We want to help out golf's growing like crazy in Manitoba right now, and we want to help everybody kind of get to that level of play, right? That's why we do the Fix Your Divots. That's why we give little tips on here. Things like that, I guess. Yeah, give us suggestions. We're open to anything right now. So,
yeah, that's well said, Reggie. And I would definitely agree with that. I don't want to go against what you're saying here, Reggie. I think we're going to keep doing kind of what we want to talk about because that's what means the most to us. I do think that if you have anything that you want to see more of or less of, as we both said, just send it in. And I mean, I think the thing about that is we'll just kind of know that there are people out there who are enjoying it and want to see more of it. I think that'd be the number one. We are gonna change the structure a little bit, and we'll see what happens with it. Maybe even a new name, maybe a new name, maybe a fourth member of the crew here. No, probably not.
Ooh.
Probably not. But who knows? We're going to go back to the drawing board here, and at the end of the day, we just want to know, or we don't want to know. We just want to give you guys the best experience. We don't want to waste anybody's time. We don't want to waste our time, and we want to make sure that whatever our goals are that we're trying to satisfy, we're actually following through with. I think that's the main thing. So, as Reggie said, if you have anything, we very much encourage sending it in, and we'll put it into our mixture of our output.
Yeah.
And like anything, any idea you've got, if it's, let's have a Zoom happy hour with
Drums takes off his
fans,
shirt.
whatever it is, we'll probably not
Only drums.
subject you to that. Don't think anybody needs that on the internet. I have children. God damn it, we don't need that out there.
Yeah, there will be some changes though. Everything. It's exactly what we were talking about with the Ryder Cup stuff. You have to evolve. You have to shake things up. We're going to go back to throw a bunch of things in the pot, see what sticks. And I think that the new product is going to be not unrecognizable. We're going to obviously have some some traditional touch in there, but we're going to try to make some changes here and really go in the right direction that we see fit for us and for everybody who's been watching the show.
Yeah, it's been 4-ish years, which is crazy to think about. And just it's time for a little revamp. And we want your guys' input into this revamp because you're the people that are listening. So we want to make sure that you guys are satisfied. If not, we can do a Zoom call, just the three of us getting pissed every night at 2. So whatever it is.
Okay, well, to wrap things up, we'll see you guys sometime.
That's it. We're out of here for Undetermined Amount. Everybody, stay tuned to AC. We're kind of in the home stretch for his season here. He did unfortunately miss the cut last week. I couldn't find him on the list this week at the Dunhill.
There's some big names there.
Which is a big one, right? Like they've got the Live boys there meeting with the PGA boys, so things are popping off there.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Monahan
that might have been
guy in the same group.
Well, no, they purposely were playing together.
Who?
The Saudi guy.
Monahan and the Saudi guy.
They're playing in the same group. What do you mean?
For the Pro-Am tomorrow. Or I guess.
Oh, really? Interesting.
That'd have been today. Now, yeah.
Interesting.
Rory said today that he thinks things will be all together by Christmas.
Yeah, so we got Rombo, we got Rory saying kind of the same thing, that they feel a resolution is on the horizon. And lots of chat between these guys. So it does look like there is something upcoming. And we'll be here to report it.
Our work is done. It's all we wanted.
We did it.
Okay. If you guys want to hear more of us argue about Live versus PGA, let us know that as well. We haven't got through enough of it through the years.
All right. We are out of here for now. Peace out, boys. Love you. Later.
Love you, boys.
Good boys.